Hey everyone, what's going on? So we're back on poloniex, and I've got a little bit of a quick story to tell about how I was kicked off of poloniex for simply being a resident of New York, which I'm not super happy about. It's not poloniex's fault, but more the state's fault and how communistic it can be. But for starters, so I've got some Ethereum Classic and some Zcash on here and a little bit of Tether, but it's only like just a little bitty like sprinkle of pixie dust amount of tether. So I'm not going to be concerned about that, but mostly just Zcash and Ethereum Classic. So I went like a month ago to try to withdraw this to my Koinami wallet because when Jax got hacked, all of the Zcash that I had in there went back to poloniex because to get a whole wallet for Windows for Zcash is actually pretty hard to do. There's only like a couple of them. So I was just like, in the meantime, I'll just throw it back to poloniex. So then a couple days go by and I get Koinami on my computer. So I was like, all right, cool. I can put Zcash on there and then send it from poloniex to Koinami, and bam, that's perfect. So I go to try to do that, but poloniex doesn't let me have my Zcash. It keeps saying, your transaction is awaiting approval. You must wait, until our staff members can approve this transaction, yada, yada, yada. So I wait, and I wait, and I wait some more, and even more. And about a month and a half goes by. It's still awaiting approval. So I submit a support ticket just saying my Zcash and Ethereum Classic withdrawals have been on a waiting approval for a long time now, probably over a month. I'd like to have these transactions approved as soon as possible. Please and thank you. And then Havan says, hopefully I'm saying this correctly, he says, our systems have detected that you may be a resident of New York. And before now, I didn't even know that you weren't allowed to use poloniex if you were in New York. I mean, I didn't really have any problems signing up. It just kind of did that. So it says in order to prove that you are not one, you can submit your driver's license, which my driver's license is from New York, so that's not helpful. My social security number, not going to do that because, it's not that I don't trust poloniex, but I'm not really just going to give my full social out to a website on the internet just because they ask for it for something like this. So I didn't want to do that. So I decided to just be straight up and be like, thank you for your reply, and I'd like to do a one-time transaction and close the account, please, because he gave me the option right here where I can do a one-time withdrawal and account closure, which I guess is fine because I can just use Cryptopia for now. I mean, I do like it better anyway. So I just told him, he told me to tell him how much I have and the address I'd like it sent to, so I did that here. And then, yeah, just waiting for his reply now. And apparently the reason that you can't have a poloniex account in New York is because of this thing called the bit license, which I just read about today. And the bit license is a common term used for a business license of virtual currency activities, and it's issued by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Regulations for companies. These regulations are limited to activities involving New York or New York State resident. So pretty much just if you're in New York State, that's all that it applies to. And it says receiving virtual currency or transmitting virtual currency, storing, holding, or maintaining custody of virtual currency. So it's basically a restriction on crypto in New York State, where if you're a company like Coinbase or poloniex and you want to legally serve New York customers, you have to apply for a special permit, which you have to pay for. And it's saying here 10 Bitcoin companies stopped business in New York State because of because of this law, because they're like, we're not paying the extra money for this permit because it's stupid. This really is just a way for New York State to make money. That's really all this is. There's no good reason that New York State should be the only state to have this restriction on crypto besides to put money in their pockets. That's really all it is. They're just like, hey, people in suits, senators and representatives, whatever, we can charge people for this thing called crypto. Yeah, it's like money on the internet, and we can get them to pay us in order to just deal with it in our state. Why would we do that? That'd be terrible. We don't want to put in restrictions and become socialist or even communist. This is a capitalistic country. Jim, shut your mouth here, all right? This is the opportunity to make money. Quit talking sensibly. We're New York State. We're the government. So we're going to put in this stupid law to make companies pay us money just to do business in our state. Then Jim was like, well, that's kind of scummy, but hey, I'll look good for making the state money so we can, whatever, fix the roads or increase the school budget or whatever, and then I'll get voted for again, and then I'll stay in office. That's what Jim was saying, all right? So I'm just predicting that right now. That's the only valid reason I can think of as to why this exists, is to make money. And it's dumb because you can't. I mean, this is a free country, and freedom of businesses to do business to customers without paying the government just for the hell of it. That's what this country was built upon, just by people coming over from Europe and Asia and stuff, starting businesses, making money, starting the cash flow, which started up the economy, and having the governments like this just taking their money just because they can is bullying, as I see it. And it's just it's abuse of power, and there's just no good reason that there needs to be this law to say that you can't be a business that deals with crypto in New York unless you pay us money. I don't see. If you guys can see a valid reason for this law to exist, please let me know. But as far as I can see, it's just a cash grab, and yeah, it sucks. So pretty much about it. Got kicked off poloniex, but if I get my coins, that's fine. I mean, I'll just use Cryptopia for my exchanges in the future, and yeah, that's about it. So about all I had to say for today, and talk to you guys later. See ya.